the weekly update with you. Hope you guys are having an awesome week, staying cool. It's been really hot. I don't know if you can hear the truck running, but the truck's been running a lot because I've been having to run the AC. So I didn't do an update last week, so this is going to be 2 weeks. But I picked up in Stanwood on Monday, and I didn't take off right away because had the option I could pick up anytime on Monday. And so I actually did some stuff at the home before I left. So I left about 2 o'clock, and that delivered to a Costco store in Davenport, Iowa. And my appointment time was at 6 a.m. So I drove straight there that night. I got there at like midnight, parked in the parking lot, and they knocked on my door at 6 o'clock and said, "Hey, you ready to get unloaded?" So I backed in, got unloaded. It only took them like 10 minutes. And the Costco store, I actually had to sit inside and wait for them. But like I said, it only took them like 10 minutes, so it was no big deal. And then I told them, I said, I gotta finish my break, so I'm gonna park back out here in the parking lot. He said, okay. So I parked out there, finished my break, and I was sent my next load. And that also picked up in Davenport, and it went to the Columbus terminal. I didn't go. It went to Virginia, but I dropped it at the Columbus terminal because I had to get my service done. I made a mistake and went over on my miles. Because you're supposed to get service done every so many miles. And I was a little over 1,000 miles over. So I had to stop at the terminal and get the service done on my truck. They rotated my drive tires, replaced my fuel filter, and replaced the filter in the back for the bunk heater and air conditioning. So I got to Columbus at like 10 o'clock at night. So I checked in. So they got me in first thing the next morning. So I had to get up at 6 o'clock again. So I was really tired last week. Because I like at least 8 hours of sleep. I like my sleep. And so like 6 hours of sleep is not good for me. But anyway, we hung out at the terminal. We found a shady spot to sit. And I was smart. I took my bag of water and a blanket. And we hung out. Waited for the service to get done. And then they told me that my truck had a recall. So I had to take it to the dealer. And the dealer wasn't going to get me until the next day. So I was going to have to stay in a hotel for the night. So I packed my bags. I drove to the dealer. And Crete had another truck for me to drive back to the terminal that they wanted brought back. And then they were going to take me to the hotel. Well, when I got back with the other truck, they said, "Oh, your truck doesn't need the recall done." They looked at it and it's good to go. So the mechanic had to drive me back to the dealer to get my truck again. It was a big runaround. And I had already told my dispatcher I wasn't going to be ready till the next day. So I had to wait till the next day for my next load. So we just stayed in the truck. A little tidbit, I'm working on creating my own radio station, possibly. So stay tuned for that. So I worked on that a little bit. I was able to use the Wi-Fi at the terminal. And I got over my over 10,000 steps in that day. I usually do when I'm getting service done because I walk laps around the terminal, trying to get my exercise. And the load came in about 10 o'clock the next morning. Another driver dropped it off, and I was able to take that to Kalamazoo, Michigan, to head home for the weekend. So I got home Thursday night. And like I said before, I don't know, it's been weird. Like, I leave on Monday and I get back on Thursday, so it's kind of lower miles. But this week has been a little bit better because I picked up in Stanwood again. and then I took to Alany, Illinois, which is in the bottom of Illinois, and then picked up in St. Elmo, like an hour away, and went to McDonough, Georgia. So that was quite a big run going to Georgia. I was happy to get a little bit more miles this week. Couldn't go all the way there. I stopped just before Nashville because I didn't want to attempt to get through Nashville and then try to find a place to park. So I stopped before and then drove to McDonough, Georgia, which is by Atlanta. They were all dropping hooks this week, and then went over and picked up. Where I picked up, you have to be there within 15 minutes of your appointment time. My appointment was at 6 o'clock at night, which kind of sucks around Atlanta because you got traffic to deal with, so it's hard to manage your time. But anyway, I got it. There was another driver there that was having a hard time backing in. This place is a little tight, and so I picked up my trailer, gave her time, and she was still having a hard time. So I thought I didn't want to leave her. I could tell she was getting frustrated. She like reset, pulled out, and started over 3-4 times. So I walked over and helped guide her in. Was able to get her in to her dock. Not that I'm bragging about myself or anything, but I'm just saying that it's nice to help people. We all can use an extra set of eyes sometimes. Instead of videoing each other and making fun of each other, we can go out and help each other. And that's what we should do. So I spent that day driving around Atlanta. It usually takes all day. And then stopped about an hour north for the night at a way station. I know some drivers are afraid to park at way stations. I've been doing it for the last 2-3 years. To me, it's a safe spot to park because police are active there. There's cameras. It's well lit. It's clean. And I know they're worried about getting an inspection, but if your truck is good, if you do your pre-inspection in the morning, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. And honestly, as long as I've been parking here, I have never had someone come up and try to do an inspection on me. So fingers crossed, hopefully I didn't jinx myself. But that's where I parked, and then that's where I'm at right now. And then I'll be heading home. I deliver in Coldwater, Michigan. I might get there tonight, and I might get there tomorrow morning. It's right at 600, a little over 600 miles. So that's usually about all I can do in a day. So I'll get home Friday morning. So hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.